Greetings everyone, and welcome to the introduction of this video series on coping with adversity and recovering from crisis. This is a project I'm working on in collaboration with Nefeli Education from Treviso under the Erasmus exchange program for young entrepreneurs. Let me introduce myself a little bit before we move on. I am someone who is very passionate about sports, exercise, and physical activity. Considering the fact that I come from a basketball family and that I've been involved in martial arts and combat sports for several years. I'm also interested in the psychology behind human functioning, on how to tap into our mental capacities to exceed ourselves in our performance, whether it's sport, business, work, art, education, and how to reach well-being with the help of our mindset. So basically this balance between thriving in challenges and recovery. This explains my 2 degrees in psychology and sports psychology, and basically my profession as a sports psychologist. At the very beginning of my career, I got involved in football, working with professional first league teams in 2 different countries. At the same time, I attended educational conferences abroad and continued to connect with professionals and experts from various professional fields and cultures. Other than that, an interesting fact is that I've lived in 5 different countries by the age of 25. So I absolutely love to collaborate, communicate, connect, and work with people from different cultures and indulge in international projects, which leads to the story behind these video series. So I've mentioned Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs program that I was supposed to take part in from February to August 2020. Guess where? In Venice. The primary mission of my host from Nefeli and myself was to help people with education and performance enhancement in Italy and then expand to Slovenia and abroad, as my host is involved in many international projects himself. So I moved to Venice and began to work on our goals, and in 2 weeks' time I go from working here to working here. The global pandemic of COVID-19 has messed up our initial plans, something that I think most of you can relate to, and we were forced to adapt our mission. So after giving it a lot of thought, we flipped the whole thing upside down and came up with our new mission: to help people with education and performance enhancement online. This is actually one of the things we will get into with these video series: how to adapt in times of change or when facing adversity. And I'll give you a little hint right now. Sometimes all you need is to change or add one word to make things work again. So in our case, we overcame our challenge by making a decision to move our activities to an online format with creating video series on coping with adversity and recovering from crisis. Now, I know a lot of professional, high quality and useful material has emerged during this pandemic on stress management and well-being. So what I would like to do is to add to it with the following 4 aspects. First of all, I want to make things simple. Scientific facts can sometimes be quite difficult to explain, and experts sometimes have difficulties in sending a message understandable enough to a larger audience. I aim to take up this challenge by taking things step by step and also by using language that anyone can grasp well enough to benefit from the content provided. Second of all, I want these series to be resourceful to you. I will structure them in a way that you don't spend too much time and yet get something significant and useful from it. Which leads us to the third and most important thing, which is the value. I want you to truly get something from this, something that will make your lives or lives of people around you better, easier, more enjoyable, and more successful. And that is the outcome you will get once you get a hold of the strategies to successfully cope with adversity and learn how to speed up your recovery process after stressful situations. And in terms of value and also resourcefulness, I want to accentuate that things you will get from these series will not serve you only now, dealing with lockdown or recovering from the times of pandemic, but also ahead in life when facing similar, hopefully not as severe, challenging situations. And last but not least, I want to make this material accessible to you so that you can go and rewatch it anytime and revise the concepts we will develop together throughout this series. Apart from that, it will be accessible in terms of all the stress coping and stress recovery strategies you will get familiarized with. You will not need budget, special equipment, or long hours of hard work and effort to master them. I mean, there's no point in doing stress management exercises if they stress you out in the first place, now is there? So if you remember a couple of slides back, I told you about our mission with this project, which consists of 2 parts, education and performance enhancement. And this is a perfect combination for the topic of coping with adversity and recovering from crisis, because in order for you to achieve your goal, you must first learn about how to do that and become aware of all the important things involved in the process. So what we will do, we will first learn about what stress actually is, its main functions, and how to most effectively manage it to your convenience. Then in the second video, we will engage in trying out some of the coping strategies and make a plan together on when and how often to use them. And then we will move forward in a similar fashion, going behind the scenes of different ways of managing adversity, and in the fourth video, trying out some of the most effective exercises for building up your mental resilience so that you can react better the next time you face adversity or a challenging situation. And finally, we will address the process of recovering from crisis and stressful events. And then in our last video, engage in various methods to enhance our well-being, restore our balance, and make space for wonderful things to come our way. Each video will last approximately 23 minutes. Now, who is this for? Well, if you're someone who gets stressed when something doesn't go as planned, or someone who can find a way to relax, especially when you need it most, or if you're someone who knows someone who's stressed out all the time and you want to help that person learn how to chill out and successfully cope with difficult situations, and also if you're someone who has had troubles getting your good vibes going during lockdown and want to find the fastest way to recover from lockdown and other challenging situations, if any of that resonates with you, then join me in these video series. It doesn't matter if you're an athlete or a coach or a student, teacher, parent, entrepreneur, manager, business owner, employee, friend, son, daughter, husband, wife, partner, or maybe Erasmus participant, or simply someone who's curious about what I have prepared for you, you will find something valuable for yourself or your important others by joining this project. And all the equipment you need to proceed to the next step is a pen and paper and some grit. Check out this little guy. I remember the first time I saw his meme on Facebook, it blew me away. If you ever lack motivation, courage, willpower, or self-belief to make a step forward, just take a good look at this photo. As a matter of fact, let's do this right now. Just take a close look at this little guy on the picture now. Look at him straight in the eyes and try to feel his grit inside you. He is ready. He is pumped up to get some work done. He has it in him, and so do you. Thank you, and see you soon.